Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
It is Tuesday, and all of our guests today on this Tuesday, and it's sunny outside here in Vancouver, by the way. Brought to you by our friends at the Waddling Dog, who also help us out with the poll question. Joined now by TSN Scouting Director, as always on a Tuesday, Craig Button. Craig, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I am fantastic. 25, 26 degrees here in Calgary through the end of the week.
Beautiful.
But it's been phenomenal. Yeah, it's been a beautiful extension of summer.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we're going to get hit hard. I don't know about hard, but we're going to get hit here sooner rather than later.
Yes. Love September in Canada. Hey, Craig, he's not playing tonight against the Kraken, but a lot of people want to know what the Canucks have in Kevin Lankinen.
I think that given the situation that the Canucks find themselves in with Thatcher Demko and Artur Silovs, that Kevin Lankinen is more than a capable goaltender to come in. He played very well in Chicago, where he played some time, and in Nashville. And he's steady, and he's even, and he's reliable. Now, I mean, we're not talking about an elite number one goaltender, but somebody that can get into the net. And you know what you're going to get. He doesn't compromise himself with respect to his positioning. He's a really good competitor. And I think, much like when you think about Casey DeSmith coming in last year, and under, I guess, similar type situation, I think Kevin Lankinen is somebody that's a little bit better than Casey DeSmith. So, given where the Canucks find themselves, and really where they find themselves, is trying to make sure that they can get both Thatcher Demko and Artur Silovs as close to 100% as possible. I think Kevin Lankinen gets into the net and gives the Vancouver Canucks every opportunity to be successful.
Sammy Blais, who helped the St. Louis Blues win a Stanley Cup not that long ago, is on a PTO with the Canucks, and Rick Tocchet has spoken highly of him so far. What do you think he could do if he sticks around for the Canucks organization?
He did play very well for Craig Berube in the St. Louis Blues. And then he got signed by the Rangers and ended up blowing out his knee. And as we see with knee injuries, there's the recovery part, there's the rehab part, and then you can start getting yourself conditioned again back to the level of play that you're comfortable with. I think that's happening with Sammy. One of the things that you've seen with players of this type, and Sammy Blais fits the type of player, hard on the puck, hard on the boards, quick, fast, not a lot of fun to play against, will hold pucks. Those are all terms that Rick Tocchet uses. And I think that for Sammy Blais to have a coach that values the attributes that Sammy brings, and Rick Tocchet being able to bring out the best in that type of player, I think there's real opportunity here for Sammy Blais to find a place with the Canucks. And given where Dakota Joshua has found himself, with the unfortunate situation coming into training camp, I think it opens up a door for Sammy Blais, and the Canucks can get somebody like Dakota Joshua, who, given the opportunity to play for somebody that values those attributes, specifically Rick Tocchet, real significant opportunity.
And Craig, Tocchet said Blais caught his eye at camp in Penticton, so I think they knew what they were doing when they offered this guy PTO. One player I want to get your thoughts on is Patrik Laine. He's had a few tough years, Craig, bouncing around, this and that. Do you think he can get back to his old goal-scoring days in Montreal?
I do, and one of the things, Rick, that we talk about, I just talked about the physical ailments that Thatcher Demko and Artur Silovs are going through right now. And Thatcher's, had these challenges now for a period of time. And, we give time, we give space to players with physical ailments. Well, a lot of what Patrik Laine went through was the mental part of it and mental health. Going into the player assistance program and feeling that he was able to find a way to deal with the things that were affecting him mentally. So it's not just physical, and I think I know we're way more open in most regards to understanding that mental health is a huge part of performance. And so given where Patrik finds himself now, I think there's every opportunity for him to find the form that he showed early in his career. And for the Montreal Canadiens, who did their due diligence, Pascal Vincent, who coached them last year in Columbus, is now Laval head coach. And so a lot of insight from the Montreal management before they traded for Patrik Laine. And they're not going to ask Patrik Laine to have to be the frontline guy. You have Caulfield, you have Suzuki, you have Slavkovsky, a healthy Kirby Dach playing in the middle of the ice with Patrik Laine. I think gives him a real significant chance to find what he showed to be really good, strong goal-scoring form.
All right, Craig, I know you love this kid out in Vancouver. Cameron Schmidt starts the year, 4 goals, 2 games. Vancouver Giants, what a start. Where do you see him going in the NHL draft? Talk a little bit about this kid.
Well, Rick, you're right. But, if we should have our Cameron Schmidt minute every single show.
I agree.
Because you know what? I have a player crush on Cameron Schmidt, and he's a dynamo. And so everybody will say, oh, he's only 5'7" and whatever he is. He's a dynamo. He's competitive. He's feisty. He's highly skilled. He's a difference maker. It's interesting at the Hlinka tournament, talking to a number of scouts, and they're telling me about this guy and that guy, and it's always, oh, yeah, but Cameron's only 5'7". I said, the guys you're talking about that are tall, they can't even hold a candle to this young guy. If I'm going to put a chip on a player to make it, I'm going to put it on Cameron Schmidt, who's fast, quick, talented, skilled, smart, feisty, and doesn't give in at anybody. And when I see him off the ice, he looks like he's about 14 years of age. I love the young player. I love him.
Craig, how impressive was it for the Philadelphia Flyers, John Tortorella, to have Guy Gaudreau at practice?
I mean, the Vancouver Canucks fans and both of you know that John Tortorella, the narratives around John Tortorella are numerous, and they're many. But I think this is just a great example of John Tortorella and how much he cares and the heartfelt sentiments that he has for people. And I don't think, given what Guy Gaudreau and the Gaudreau family and friends have gone through, for John Tortorella to try to get Guy Gaudreau into a place that he's always been comfortable coaching on the rink, around hockey, with the players, it pulls at my heartstrings. And to John's point, after, I don't know where it's going to go, and he said hopefully he comes back. And if that serves as something for Guy to continue to enjoy hockey to the great extent that he has, I think that's magnificent and just speaks volumes about John Tortorella and the Philadelphia Flyers organization. Just beautiful.
Yeah, agreed. And like you said, they're going to try to have him back very quickly. Craig, Kraken in town tonight. Dan Bilesma takes over from Dave Haxtell. They've added Brandon Montour, Chandler Stevenson. What do you expect from that team after missing the playoffs last year and making them the year before?
Yeah. It's interesting. They made the playoffs the year before. They're in a tough division. We know they're in a tough division. They didn't make the playoffs last year. Led to a coaching change. I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're deep enough. I don't think they're hard enough. I know they brought in 2 Stanley Cup champions in Chandler Stevenson. Chandler Stevenson was a really good player. Being surrounded, and he'll give you what he has. Brandon Montour, being able to play at a level that was pretty impressive. I don't see the Seattle Kraken as a team that's good enough to unseat the playoff teams in the Pacific Division. So if I'm the Vancouver Canucks and they're coming into my building in this preseason game, serve notice early. You got no chance against us.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday, Craig. Enjoy the weather there in Calgary. Appreciate it.
I will. Thank you.